I wanted to have a life-changing experience. I figured living for a few weeks teaching in a new country would be pretty darn life-changing. Thus began a global search on the Workaway website for opportunities. One school stood out from the rest. Hello from HELO School outside Siem Reap, Cambodia, where I've been working as a volunteer English teacher. Volunteering abroad is a perfect way to have an immersive travel experience and be an active part of the place you're visiting. I signed up for 3 weeks not really knowing what it's really going to be like, so I'm feeling a little nervous. But the moment I landed in Cambodia and was picked up by the school tuk-tuk driver, Tin, I was grinning from ear to ear. I was so happy. I had made it to Cambodia. I had done it. Got a mosquito net on my bed. And luckily I haven't seen any mosquitoes yet here, but having the net's probably a good idea just in case. And as you can see, I have a lot of room in here. This is way bigger than any dorm room I've ever had. And it has its very own built-in bathroom, so that's pretty nifty. On my first day in my new home, which was a Sunday, Tin took me on a tour of the village. He showed me many temple ruins and other impressive landmarks. I also took a bike ride around the village on my own to get a lay of the land. It was definitely hot and sunny, but I was expecting that and wore sun shirts to protect from the sun and the mosquitoes. There were 3 other volunteers that first week, a couple from Finland who had been living there for 3 weeks already, and a woman around my age from Germany who spent 1 week there so far. All of them would be leaving at the end of that week. The arrangement in this workaway at HELO School was that in exchange for free room and delicious meals 3 times a day, we would teach in the English school for 4 hours a day and 2 optional hours in the evening. And there was a small donation requested to help fund the school since it was entirely free for the students. The students all attend public school as well, but HELO School offers hour-long classes each day to help students learn English. These are the classrooms. And then on Mondays and Fridays, we're actually over here in this open space doing meditation, traditional Khmer dancing, and fun games with the kids. There are 4 classrooms at HELO School, and I was assigned to volunteer in teacher Molly's room. The schedule each day was wake up, get ready, breakfast at 7:30, lowest level class, ABC 1, from 8 to 9, then ABC 2 from 9 to 10, lunch at 11:30, class again from 2 to 3 and 3 to 4, and then the optional evening classes from 6 to 8, and then a great dinner. I am good, thank you, and your teacher Molly?
I'm very well, thank you.
Class always started with me reviewing the ABCs and numbers with the kids. C, cup, car. C, D, duck, dog. D, duck, dog. Class always ended with kids high-fiving and bowing to me. In the middle, they'd practice their writing and show me their work to receive a sticker. Good job. Between classes, I'd relax in the hammock and read, and once the host's son came home from his school, I'd play with him, making origami airplanes and kites, or whatever else he was interested in. In the afternoons, I'd bike around and the kids would yell out, "Teacher David,"
Hello.
which felt so cool. I was known in this village in Cambodia. Just biking through the village. That first week, Tin had all us volunteers from HELO School and its sister school over to his house for a Khmer cooking class. We made fish amak soup and beef lak lak. I don't eat beef, but I can attest that the fish amak soup was so tasty. On the last night before the other 3 volunteers left, we had a picnic with both the teachers and the volunteers. It was a special bonding moment for us all. That weekend, Tin took me and a volunteer from the sister school, Nina, by tuk-tuk to the Banteay Srei temple ruins. Unfortunately, I'd contracted some sort of cold, and now I'm losing my voice because of some congestion. The loss of my voice made the next day hard. I'd signed up for a full-day tour to Angkor Wat Temple and other significant temples in the area. If you watched my last video, you remember I said to break the ice as soon as possible on tours. Well, it's hard when you sound like a frog. Nonetheless, I did meet some friendly people and saw some impressive temples. The amount of detail work that went into these temples is astounding. When I returned to HELO School, I met the new volunteer Jasmine, who was from Italy. And just like that, it was time to begin my second week. I continued to join the evening classes, and on Wednesday, another volunteer, Min from the UK, joined our cohort. Tin, who at this point felt like a longtime friend, took us to watch the sunset from his favorite sunset spot. On Fridays, instead of regular classes, the students practiced Khmer dancing. I am not a skilled dancer, but I tried my best. In the afternoon, I went to the city where I would be staying for the weekend. I attended the Fair Circus, which holds the record for longest circus act at over 24 hours. It was very cool to see. The next day, I went to learn about rats that detect landmines, which is very important in Cambodia as there are so many undiscovered landmines in the country. The rats will walk across a plot of land, and if they sniff a landmine, they scratch the ground and receive a treat. If they find the same spot again, that means there's probably a landmine, and it will then be safely detonated. The rats are safe because they aren't heavy enough to trigger the mine. In the afternoon, I went on a tour to a floating village. It's called that because in the wet season, the water goes so high that people travel around in boats, so the houses are built on huge stilts. It was wild to see. Here we are at Pub Street in Siem Reap, Cambodia, and it is poppin'. The following morning, I returned to Angkor Wat at the ripe hour of 5:30 a.m. for the sunrise, an iconic Siem Reap experience. I've never seen so many people up that early before. This was March 23rd, just 2 days after the spring equinox, which is when the sun perfectly lines up with the Angkor Wat Tower. Back at the school, I got to meet the new volunteers, a woman my age from Italy named Srei, and a mother and daughter from Greece. I joined them on their village tour with Tin and realized that I had learned a lot over my past 2 weeks here. I was now the seasoned volunteer, filling them in on how the program worked. The week went by fast. There was a lot of energy with the new volunteers there, which was fun. Srei started a project organizing the library, so I helped her with that, and once done with afternoon classes, she, Min, and I would head off for a smoothie at the little shop down the road. Tuesday was testing day, and after the students finished the written portion, I had to grade the tests and quiz the students on counting pencils and identifying colors in English. They did a fabulous job. Tin took us to the local market to buy fish for another cooking class. They were selling all kinds of things from meat to fruit to water guns for the new year. It was great to be back at Tin's place making fish amok. Khmer New Year was coming up on April 14th, so people were beginning to prepare for the festivities that would include dances, water fights, and games. But unfortunately, my time in Cambodia was up. The kids made me goodbye drawings and gave me hugs. You all are so smart and so fun, and I'm gonna miss you so much. I love you all. For 3 weeks, I was a part of life in Cambodia. I lived there, I worked there, I played there. This experience seemed so unknown beforehand, but ended up being so impactful and fun. Thank you, HELO School, for this incredible adventure.
I can sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow too.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.